I mean, there has to be more when two people have cared for each other for a long time. Besides, agony.
I've been wearing the same underwear since Tuesday.
I know this sounds crazy, but ever since yesterday on the road, I've been seeing this shape.
It's true. We've been friends since childhood.
So in today's lesson, we're going to look at how and when to use for and since, particularly when we use them to talk about time. And I needed to point this out because, of course, there are other uses for these two words. Today's lesson is focused on their usage with respect to time, or more precisely, how they function as prepositions of time. Now, there's a little practice test in the last section of this video, so make sure to watch to the end. And if you want access to the full test, visit readatononline.com. The link will be in the description. Hi, my name is Tete. The channel is Readaton. Here, we help you become a confident speaker of the English language. We do book reviews, English lessons like this very one, movie recaps, puzzles, and riddles. If this sounds good to you, kindly hit the subscribe button and bell icon so you are notified anytime we release a new video. Additionally, like, share, and recommend the video to friends and family. There will be timestamps in the description, so feel free to any section of the video anytime. Let's dive in. So basically, we use for when we're talking about an amount or a period or a length of time. Say 10 minutes, that's an amount of time, or 10 years. Again, that's also a certain amount or period of time. It could be in seconds, it could be in minutes, hours, days, months, or even years. He's been staying with us for 3 years. Now, 3 years here refers to the total amount of time he spent so far staying with us. He's been staying with us for 3 years. Let's look at another example. I waited at the station for 6 hours. I waited at the station for 6 hours. So the length of time here is 6 hours. The total amount of time I waited is 6 hours.
You've been in here for 2 days.
Will you two stop flirting for a minute?
Whether you love Jeff or you hate Jeff, Jeff has sacrificed his body for years and years and years.
What you taught me was that I was less important to you than people who'd been dead for 500 years in another country.
My mother has not seen me for 7 years.
I've been looking for you for 2 days.
I've been doing that every night for 5 years now.
We've been living in this apartment for 700.
A woman whom you've only known for 5 minutes.
You were together for 2 years in boarding school, right?
So again, we use for when we are talking with respect to a certain length of time or a certain amount or period of time. And then again, I would like to point out here that the length of time we're talking about doesn't have to be precise. It doesn't need to have a fixed number attached to it, like 3 days or 5 months or 10 years. It can be vague. For example, for the weekend, for ages, for a long time, for a while. For example, I haven't seen her for ages. So ages here represents the length of time, not really a particular one, but for a very long time. I haven't seen her for ages. Another one, I'd like to sit down for a while. I'd like to sit down for a while. Now, the important thing to note here is that for is used with a period of time. So you can consider this for a formula, for plus period of time. Now let's talk about since. We use since when we are referring to a particular point in time. We use since when we're referring to a particular point in time. Over here, we are not concerned about how long or the amount of time, okay, or the length of time. We are just making reference to a certain point in time when maybe an action began or an action started. For example, since Monday, since 9 a.m., since the beginning of time. Okay, so the starting point is Monday, is 9 a.m., is the beginning of time. Okay, not really the length, but the particular point in time when an action began or something started or an event occurred. For example, it has been raining since morning, meaning the rain started in the morning. This is a particular point in time. The sentence doesn't talk about how long it has been raining, whether for 5 hours or 2 hours All we know is when the rains started, in the morning. So we use since. It has been raining since morning. Let's consider other examples. I haven't heard from her since last month. Here again, the sentence doesn't talk about period, only the particular point in time. Their father has been missing since December 1998. We've been friends since our school days.
So he's been missing since Tuesday night.
Since last year, the search has been hampered by the harsh conditions in the thicket.
No, we haven't seen him since Tuesday.
It's just something we've done since childhood.
Best friends since childhood. Bucky Barnes and Stephen Rogers were inseparable on both schoolyard and battlefield.
Now here's a little tip. For can be used with all tenses. For example, he studies for 3 hours every day. He studied for 3 hours every day. He's been studying for 3 hours every day. He is studying for 3 hours. And so you realize that in all these instances, the length of time is mentioned. 3 hours. 3 hours. I hope you get the point. Now, when it comes to since is mostly used with the perfect tenses. The perfect tenses. Now, if you don't know what perfect tenses are and you want me to make a lesson on that, kindly let me know in the comment section. So examples are, he has been studying since morning. I had lived in this neighborhood since childhood. Right, here's a little practice test. All the best.